So, you ever have one of those weeks where you're like, I'm gonna get all these things done. I got all these plans. Like digging a sump pit in the backyard. And then Mother Nature decides that it needs to rain a lot so that you can't. And continue to rain after you water your garden and your lawn for the first time. Well, your lawn for the first time this year. Yes, everything is soaked. But we're going to do this. I'm going to show you what is going on in the yard here. So, first of all, we got some annuals. Put some annuals in over top of the bulbs. Just to make it nice to look at for the rest of the season because the early bloomers are all done. So we got some petunias that we put in the bottom here. And you can see the campfire rose has flowered. It's got a lot of flowers on it, which is really nice. We replaced 2 of the strawberries because they did not make it. So these 2 big ones here were the replacements. The campfire has not put out any new blooms, but it has put out new leaves, which is exciting. The centennial is unbelievable. It is putting out gorgeous, gorgeous flowers. Like, look at that. And new shoots here. Ow! Dang! And thorns. So we were kind of worried about this because the water is pooling really bad when it rains, but we're thinking that might just be because of how the soil is. So we're gonna watch that. What else do we got going on? Oh, the Hope for Humanity opened, and yes, right now this is how we're dealing with water. So there is the Hope for Humanity. Is that not gorgeous? And there's another one here that's gonna open. And then more strawberries. And then you'll see this is a little different. So Cherry Lane had a sale on annuals, and I sent Ian out with a list for a tray for myself, and then money for him to get a tray for himself. So that yielded, what do we got here? So we got Impatience along the front here. Then we have 2 different kinds of lobelias, 2 sweet potato vines, then 2 different kinds of celosia, and then a row of osteospermum, and then some coleus in between the hosta and the bleeding heart. That bleeding heart I'm still holding out for, but who knows at this point. Right now I'm pretty sure it's just roots, but I'm gonna keep it there, see what happens next year, and if I need to replace it, I need to replace it. Then kind of filled in that back corner with some snapdragons. Yeah, and then, I mean, the hookahs are doing really well. A little bit concerned about those purpley pink hookahs that we purchased because they're kind of getting dwarfed out here. Like, they're growing. And I mean, this is a first year transplant compared to an already established plant. Same on this side. Whereas this one's also fighting with the hosta. Oh, we got lilies here too. Speaking of this hosta, yeah, it's flowering. It's got 5 flower stalks on it. Pretty impressed right now. But yeah, so with those 2 purple pink ones, I might be moving them depending on what happens with the east side of the lawn in the fall. But that's future Jessica's problem. The clematis is doing really well. Little discoloration on the leaves, which I'm a little concerned about, but it's still flowering. Oh, this flower got smushed, I think. Yep, it's all done. This one is flowering. Only two tendrils made it to the top of the deck, but these flowers are really pretty. We got 2 more that are opening up. Oh, a couple more over there too. And the purple one is still chugging along. I will be really excited to see how these look next year, because I've been told they just get better and better. So quite excited about that. Then we got the peony and lilies. I also put some snaps in here, and some of my sunflowers are coming up just to fill up space. Those are annuals and will come out. The peony is covered right now to try to keep some of the water off. I'm going to uncover her real quick though, because she's grown. She's getting bigger. And there's a little stalk here that has come up. I'm very excited. It's doing really well. Really, really well. All things considered. So, we were instructed to try to keep as much water off of her as possible, which is why there's a pot over top of her. Then some of the Walmart lilies that I put in as last attempt have come up. There's a couple of them. And then these are the ones that I bought that have all flowered now. I should come through and pull some of these off, but again, it is wet and disgusting out. Then, mine that I planted, oh, they're so close. So close. I'm gonna come home one day to all of these opening up, and I'm gonna be so excited. But they haven't started to color up yet though, so we're a little ways away still, but we're close. There's so many of them. Like, so many of them. And then we were looking down at the bottom here. I don't know if I'll be able to see it with the camera, but there's little lilies coming off the stalks here. So these bulbs will have to get separated again, which is fine because I gotta pull them out. But yeah, that's the front right now. Then we come up onto the porch with Lily Central. So, the orange has a bloom stalk, and I'm so excited. It's going to be so pretty. Right around this time last year, the one that I had was also blooming. This one has also started to put out new shoots, which is pretty cool. And I'm hoping this year I don't mess up when I overwinter it. Then, I got callas that are putting out flowers. Look how pretty that is. Nice full pot. These bulbs did really well over the winter. This pot, it's coming along. It just took a little longer. And then we've got some flowers here. The black ones. Just need some heat to get things really jumping. And then, got weeds. Got this one that came to party. You can see it's got a bunch of new shoots coming up. Each rhizome has new shoots coming up. So hopefully this pot fills out really, really well and we get some pretty flowers off of it. And then this yellow one that I bought, a little bit beat up, but blooming. Look how pretty those petals are. Oh, I can't wait till they're all flowering for me. It's going to be so pretty. And this one, taking its time, but we are coming up, which is nice. Got another little growth here. Just a little slow to the party, but we're coming along. Like I said, it just needs to get warm. I've also kind of had a struggle with the potting soil that I used. Been noticing that the top will stay like it's wet, but it'll be dry underneath. So I'm thinking there's a little bit of hydrophobia. So I just gotta watch that and really give these a good soak. But that's not necessary right now because it's pouring down rain still. So here's those clematis again, and another shot of the garden there. But yeah, so here's how the front is looking. About halfway through, because we've got about 60 some, little less than 60 some days until the first frost is predicted. So everything's coming along, and it's going to be real interesting to watch it jump in the next month. So anyways, let's head off to the back now. Okay, I apologize, it's a mess back here because it's so wet. So, as I was telling you, like, remember how good the dahlias looked last week after I trimmed them up? Yeah, there's something going on with my dirt. But, do what I can. Oh, I got an eggplant having a nap. Oh dear. Oh dear, I'll have to come back and fix that. So there was eggplants in here. I don't know if they're growing, because, like I said, planted them, and then I thought they were wet, but they were not. So we'll see what happens there. And then a friend of mine gave me these 2 sunflowers that I gotta find a spot for still. And I got peppers, more peppers, making peppers. I replaced 2 peppers in those pots that had died. There's another pot of peppers down there that I replaced. Tomatoes are coming along. I was looking at pictures going, oh man, nothing's really grown. And then I look at this and I'm like, yeah, no, things are growing. So I'm gonna have to see how much I can do from this side, because when we get down to where the walkway is, it's gonna be interesting. Pansies are doing well. I need to plant that hosta. This is the T-Rex hosta. I just haven't been able to get into the yard to plant it where I want to plant it. This plant will have a 6.5 foot spread. Because why not? And then that canna will be going out front, in front of our steps on our side. I just need to get it into a pot. Haven't done that yet, because again, kind of wet and grody out. This lettuce is coming back real well. These ones are kind of struggling. We're just going to ignore the plants that I fried. That pepper plant has to get planted still. That lettuce is doing really good, and the spinach is going really well. Peppers that are underneath on the shelf are doing really well. Some of my basil is doing okay, some of it's not doing so okay. Now, these petunias in the baskets, I don't know what happened, but they love their life, and they're pretty. They're all doing really well. I only put 4 plugs in, and by like plugs I mean like they were like little. Also, again, ignoring the dead plants that I haven't dealt with yet. Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. Then I don't know, I have mystery weeds growing in this pot. I have no idea what those are. Not a clue. Nope. Only 2 pots of nasturtiums didn't come up, which I think is pretty good. There's 6 of them, so 4 out of 6. Pretty decent. Then I have my little ficus collection there, getting some rainwater. Then my big ruby, which I don't know where I'm putting them yet, but again, that's a problem for future, Jessica. None of my cucumbers have come up, which is disappointing, but not surprising, because I have struggled with cucumbers. Only 1 zucchini came up. I am going to replant those, because I've got 60 some days, so it'll be enough for cucumbers and zucchini to come up with direct sow. I might have to wait until it stops raining so much though, but we will see. The beans are doing well. No flowers on them yet, but they're growing. And whatever was munching on them seems to have stopped, which is appreciated. Nothing in the zinnia Cosmo bed at all. Honestly, at this point, I might end up ripping that out and using that spot as sunflowers next year. Because I did have sunflowers there my first year and they seemed to like it, so I might just rip that bed out, spread the dirt around, and put sunflowers right in the ground. Maybe try to mitigate some weeds. And then there's that stuff over there, and I'll see if I can get over there. But I'll show you why I am questioning whether or not I can get over there, because we've got some water. Because there's supposed to be a sump pit dug, but it rained and rained. And then when we thought it was done raining, it rained some more. So that didn't happen this week. Hopefully, though, it'll happen before the fall, so that we don't run into the issue that we ran into this spring, which was having water pour in through the lip of this door. So, throw on the boots, see if I can get over there. Give you a nice shot of the garden while I put my rubber boots on here. Oh yes, we'll look at the brassica tent too, because there's some stuff happening in there. Oh, and my eggplant, the one that I bought, has a flower. Which means I will hopefully get an eggplant. At least one. At least one, hopefully. Look how pretty. Seems to like this spot, which is good. Okay, the catnip is doing really well. Should probably take some of that off and dry it. Alright, so then, the herb wall. We're doing pretty good. Smells really great every time I walk past it, honestly. And then all of the snap pea baskets have shoots. No flowers yet. I thought I saw flowers earlier on the weekend, but none yet. Hopefully soon, though. Oh my goodness. So, brassica tent. We're doing pretty good. And now that I know that this tent works pretty darn well, I'm thinking about getting the second one, and then I will be starting my brassicas inside and pulling them outside sooner. Then, more herbs, more mint, which is so smelly. It smells so good. I really wish you guys could smell it. And some chives, and more chives. And more mint. This keeps trying to get into this basket, which I think is kind of funny. And then corn has come up. A lot of it came up. Again, I planted this in a super sunny spot, and it's done nothing but rain. So hopefully, when the heat picks up, these pick up. Also, I realized that this soaker hose, the 6-foot extension that I had on it, had a kink in it, and it wasn't watering the bed properly. So, really, this is just a warning to pay attention to your gear, and it makes things a lot easier. Okra's coming up here. Some of my onions did good, some of my onions not so good. I'm not sure if that's because of the type of onions that I bought, or when I planted them, or how I planted them, but they're not doing very well, which is unfortunate. And yeah, no cucumbers. No idea why. Beets got a little bit toasty on the leaves here, but they're all growing really well, which is good. Just need them to start bulbing up now. The radish could say the same thing. However, I was poking through here, and we are starting to get some bulbing in here. Let's see if I can see that. Very excited. And then some carrots have come up, some have not. Kind of is what it is. My pea plants, as I stepped on one here, I don't know. Try to beat that back through there. They're doing what I wanted them to do, which was climb up the fence. Next year, probably put more in earlier, I think. And again, the one cucumber that I planted here also didn't come up, so I don't know what it is with me and cucumbers. I had them the first year and that was pretty much it. Potatoes are doing well. Gonna have to put more dirt on them pretty quick here. Yeah. Other than it being just bonkers wet back here, everything is doing pretty good. Doesn't quite look the same as last year, but that's alright. You're not supposed to have the same garden every year. And I mean, I know I was feeling this way last year around this time, looking at everything going, oh, you know, it's not growing. And last year I started stuff way too early, and I'm really, honestly, not that much more behind than I was. So, it's all about finding a balance. And a way to store hoses that is better than that. Oh my goodness. But yeah, one of these had a big kink in it, so this hose was not working. Because I didn't pay attention. Shocker of all shockers. Yeah. That's where we're at. I think this is the fifth garden tour now. Yeah. Making the most out of my little space. Yeah, I guess I will cut that here. And thank you guys for watching and hanging out and following along as we battle the elements here in this tiny little garden. And I will see you guys in the next one.